Okay, we're up and at 'em. January the 17th. The NFL's down to 8 teams. This is the Teal Shirt Report podcast. As you know, the Jacksonville Jaguars are out, and we've got it on the screen. Buffalo 27, the Jaguars 24. Sad day for Jaguars fans. Well, a number of things happened in the game. We analyzed it on episode show number 8. Now we're show number 9. And here we go. Who wore number 9? Was it Foles with Philadelphia when he won the Super Bowl? Then he signed as a free agent with the Jaguars, and he switched to number 7, and he didn't play long in Jacksonville before he got hurt. And then he was on to other things after that. And I don't think Foles is not even in the league anymore, right? We'll have to check that, but no, he's not playing anymore. I guess he's officially retired now. Good to have you tuned in today. I was going to bring the coffee boy in, but I think he's still kind of enjoying and basking in the glow of the Buffalo Bills win over the Jaguars. You see, our executive producer, JC's a Buffalo Bills fan. The Jaguars are probably number 2 for him, while they are number 1, obviously, for me, and have been for a long time. We talked about the Jaguars. Okay. Welcome to the Teal Shirt Report podcast, show number 9. Glad to have you with us. We're brought to you by Saucer Realty and Capital for your real estate needs in North Florida. I talked to Larry Saucer. He's a little bit wait and see on the new coach at Florida, and John Summerall, but he's a Gator. He'll be pulling for him. I'll be pulling for him. Larry and I both were really big on Kerwin Bell, and Kerwin's never going to get the opportunity and has not gotten the opportunity at Florida. Obviously, he's still at Western Carolina. John Summerall comes to Florida from Tulane. College football championship game. The line has changed on that a little bit. It was 8.5 that in Indiana, I keep wanting to call them Indianapolis, but the Indiana Hoosiers were an 8.5-point favorite over Miami. And now it's down to 8 points. There's some money going on Miami for the January the 19th, 2026 contest, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time at Hard Rock Stadium. They say Miami will have a bit of a home field advantage in this one, so we'll see. I still like Indiana to win the game. Quite frankly, I like Indiana to win, cover the spread, and the total to go over. And unless the Miami defense is up to the challenge early in the game, I think the early part of this game is going to be critical. Can Miami keep it close early? They keep it close, in the first half of the game. Maybe they got a chance in the second half. This is for the national championship between Indiana and the Miami, Florida Hurricanes. So, hey, we appreciate you tuning in right here on the podcast. We've been talking countless months about getting some guests on the show. I'm working on that. I think New York Joe, who we had on the audio version of the podcast, several months ago, maybe a couple of years ago, will be on soon. We're still discovering new ways to use our tools with the podcast. Jacksonville Jaguars lost to the Buffalo Bills 27-24. The concert with Barry Manilow at the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Gosh, if I can say that 3 times, the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Barry Manilow was scheduled to be there January the 12th, and he had to postpone. And he actually postponed a few days before I knew he postponed. I found out in an article that he had apparently some cancer on his lung that's going to be removed in an operation. And then I hear it looks like he's going to reschedule for May if everything goes well, with his surgery and the recuperation. But man, that guy's got a lot of dates scheduled. I know that, there's some other concerts up on the website. Check it out. Judy Collins, was in, I believe, Ponte Vedra on January 14th. And now there's some other shows coming up. Foreigner with Lou Graham, Night Ranger. Journeys coming in the spring, but check out the website in the Neighbors 2 section at bigjreport.com. We're also brought to you by the madmaxmix.weebly.com. Great show on Wednesday nights with Mad Max, 6 till 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time, 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock Eastern Time on Wednesday nights with the Mad Max Mix. Max mainly plays classic rock, music, pop classics from days gone by on Wednesday nights. And then JC the very next night on Thursday nights at LakeUfallahits.com. Great internet radio where it's all good. JC plays requests through the chat box he's got on the website at LakeUfallahits.com. Great internet radio. So we do want to thank our sponsors, Saucer Realty and Capital, for your real estate needs in North Florida. You will absolutely find a link for Saucer Realty and Capital on our website on the homepage at bigjreport.com. And also, we have links in the Neighbors 2 section near the concert area for Mad Max's show on Wednesday nights and JC live from the pub on Thursday nights. Sub playoff loss for the Jaguars. The season has come to an end. The Jacksonville Jaguars 13-5, but a great year. A great year. The fans, I think, have finally accepted it. The next order of business is what's going to happen in the offseason. Well, it looks like Devin Lloyd is probably going to be on his way to testing the market, and he will probably not be with the Jaguars last year. I think he had as many as 5 interceptions. I haven't checked the stats on him, but he had a career year this last year with Jacksonville. Some people in social media said, man, I don't know if I would re-sign him. 1 really good, great year, and then 3 that were not so good. I think there'll be a big market team that will sign Devin Lloyd and probably overpay to get Devin Lloyd. I would rather keep ETN, and I'm not sure the Jags, with their salary cap situation, will be able to keep Travis Etienne or not. I would love to keep the guy, for a couple more years. I think he's probably going to look for his agent, I'm assuming, will look for a bigger contract than perhaps what the Jaguars can offer running back Travis Etienne. So those are the 2 main players that may be going away. Trayvon Walker, your opinion on Trayvon Walker? He will be moving in to a 5th year. The Jaguars did give him the 5th year option, I believe, last year. So you got another year with Trayvon Walker, the big defensive end / linebacker edge guy that probably, I think, should be playing probably more inside than he does. But everybody's got an opinion on Trayvon Walker. He played really well at times. Probably the best stat on Trayvon Walker was not so much the sacks at 3.5 sacks this year, because quite frankly, he had injuries. He had a wrist injury, then had a knee injury, but he still had 8 tackles for losses. And in my mind, that was a very good stat for Trayvon Walker. College football, we're going to make this a quick podcast today in episode show number 9. We want to go back and reflect on the Miami of Florida Hurricanes at 13-2, the Indiana Hoosiers at 15-0. They play the national championship game of college football on January the 19th of 2026 at 7:30 p.m. at Hard Rock Stadium. It is now Indiana an 8-point favorite. They were 8.5. Now it's down to 8 points that they're favored over Miami by. Our source likes Indiana to win, cover the spread, and the total to go over. It looks like the over-under is right at about 47 points in this game. NFL playoffs, this is where it gets real. This is where it gets tremendously real in the NFL playoffs. I'll tell you what, and I sent New York Joe an invite to be a guest, and hopefully he'll be on maybe in the next podcast or the one after that. And we're trying to figure out how to do all these technical things with the podcast, but we're having fun. We appreciate you watching. We got over 2,000 subscribers. If you've not already subscribed to the channel, please do that. We got a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, not just from your host, but from many people that inform me, like our contributor correspondent, John Gaylor, our executive producer, JC, and of course, Alex Nunnery. We keep you up to date. We've got kind of a staff of contributors and correspondents that get us a lot of really good information on this particular podcast, the Teal Shirt Report podcast from BigJReport.com. If you, if you have any comments or suggestions, please let us know. And you can do that right here on the YouTube channel. I'm dealing with a little cough, a little cold, so bear with me a moment. Some of this coffee went down the wrong way, I think. So bear with me. We're going to go and take a look. I think I'm coming back to normal now. Some of this coffee may have gone down the wrong way. We're going to go back now and review the college football national championship game. Indiana Hoosiers 15-0, Miami of Florida Hurricanes 13-2. Again, Indiana is now an 8-point favorite. The Indiana Hoosiers are an 8-point favorite over the Miami of Florida Hurricanes. The game will be played on January the 19th of 2026 at 7:30 p.m. at Hard Rock Stadium. Our source, the main source we look to with games, tells us Indiana will win, cover the spread, and the total will go over, the over-under at about 47 points. On this particular podcast, I'm not going to do, all the NFL point spreads, but let's talk about the games if we can. And we will do that. I had found, actually, the games, the days, the times. Let's see if we can find all that again for you like we did earlier. I'm trying to get over this little cough, and we're feeling better than we were. So thank you guys for your prayers and comments and things of that nature right here on our podcast, the Teal Shirt Report podcast from BigJReport.com. NFL playoffs today on Saturday. Buffalo at Denver at 4:30 p.m. That's on Saturday, January the 17th. There's another Saturday game in the evening in prime time at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Actually, that game will start at 8 o'clock p.m. That's when Fox, I think, has the pregame show at 7:30. Got some cool games going. Buffalo at Denver at 4:30 p.m. on Saturday, today on January the 17th. Maybe the best team in the NFL this year, and that's debatable. The Seattle Seahawks are tough. They beat the Jaguars very early in the season. At 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, the San Francisco 49ers, a wild card, will play against the NFC Western Division champions, the Seattle Seahawks, at Seattle at 8 o'clock p.m. later today on Saturday, January the 17th. Let's see, the Houston Texans play on Sunday at New England, 3 o'clock p.m. And then on Sunday, Sunday, this will be January the 18th. On Sunday, the LA Rams play at the Chicago Bears, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. And those are the games. Final 8 teams in. Buffalo playing at Denver at 4:30 p.m. today. San Francisco at Seattle at 8 o'clock p.m. Houston at 3 o'clock p.m. on Sunday, January the 18th. Houston still alive. They got a 10-game winning streak, but hey, the Jaguars beat them in the division by 1 game overall. But Houston has a very sound defense. They're still on that. My gosh, the Jags had an 8-game winning streak, and Houston has an even longer winning streak now at 10 games in the NFL. Houston Texans at the New England Patriots this Sunday at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, January the 17th. And the LA Rams on Sunday, January the 18th of 2026 at 6:30 p.m. 6:30 p.m. this Sunday, LA Rams at the Chicago Bears. Those are the final 8 teams in the playoffs. And we're brought to you by Saucer Realty and Capital, the Mad Max Mix.weebly.com, and LakeUfallahits.com. JC at Lake Eufaula Hits does In the Pub with JC. In the Pub with JC, his music show on Thursday nights starting at 6 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Time on Thursday nights. JC live from the pub, I should say, on Lake Eufaula Hits. We have links for JC's show on Thursday nights. We have links for the Mad Max Mix.weebly.com on Wednesday nights in our Neighbors 2 section, where the concert listings are at bigjreport.com. So that's going to about do it. I think the Jags are going to lose a couple of players to free agency. Are there any other trades maybe in the offing? Well, I hope the Jags hang on to Brian Thomas Jr. Trevor made a really nice pass to him in the playoff loss to Buffalo. Trevor had 3 touchdown passes in that loss to Buffalo, 27-24, but he also threw a couple of interceptions. So there was some good and bad. You heard about the good, the bad, and the ugly. What was the good, the bad, and the ugly? Maybe Trevor's interceptions. The ugly at the end of the game, I'm going to say, was Josh Allen not running just 1 or 2 yards, but pushing the defensive line for 10 yards. Where was the defensive line on that 10-yard run by Josh Allen? Right up the middle. They couldn't get him down. Could not get him down to save their life. That was the ugly. The bad was Trevor's 2 interceptions, I think, in the football game. The good was Trevor's 3 touchdown passes, I should say. Trevor's 3 touchdown passes was the good. ETN's catch and run for the touchdown. Brian Thomas Jr., a nice catch in the end zone. Parker Washington made a touchdown catch. So there was some good, there was some bad, and there was the ugly. And the Jacksonville Jaguars lost to Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills 27, the Jacksonville Jaguars 24, the final score in Jacksonville, Florida at Everbank Stadium. The season is over now, but the Jags had a great finish. I should say they had a great record. The finish, not so good in the playoff game, but they had a great regular season. The Jacksonville Jaguars finished 13-5 with an AFC South Division title. The Bills play on now. The Bills play on now. They will play on the road. The Buffalo Bills will play at Denver. And the Buffalo Bills play today on Saturday, January the 17th. They play at the Denver Broncos at 4:30 p.m. today. San Francisco plays at Seattle today. 2 games tomorrow, Houston at New England at 3 o'clock p.m. on Sunday, January the 18th. And the LA Rams play at the Chicago Bears, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The primetime game on Sunday evening. There's many more primetime games in the playoffs now than there used to be back in the day. So the LA Rams play at the Chicago Bears at 6:30 p.m. primetime on Sunday night, Sunday evening, January the 18th. Today is Saturday, January the 17th. Tomorrow will be Sunday, January the 18th of 2026. We're going to wrap up the podcast. Please smash the like button. That would be, we'd be grateful. Some people smashed the like button in our last podcast. This is episode show number 9 of the Teal Shirt Report podcast from bigjreport.com. Please do smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already subscribed. We do have over 2,000 subscribers so far, which is a good start for us in the first year. And give us your comments on the playoffs, the college football playoff, what the Jaguars should do in the offseason. Let us know. That's going to do it for the Teal Shirt Report podcast, episode show number 9. And thank goodness I'm starting to get over my cold and cough a little bit. And I do apologize for a little bit of a cough earlier in this particular episode show number 9 of the Teal Shirt Report podcast. We want to thank our executive producer, JC, who's been on a little hiatus celebrating the Buffalo Bills' victory over the Jags. Buffalo moves into the final 8. There's 8 teams left in the playoffs, and when there's 8 teams left in the playoffs, that means now the playoffs are really for real. We're eloquently produced by our executive producer, JC, also by Alex Nunnery. John Gaylor, thank you so much for all the contributions, contributing and corresponding with us. We got a lot of contributors, and we try to bring it to you here on this podcast, the Teal Shirt Report podcast from BigJReport.com. I am your host, Scott. Again, I am your host, Scott. And I'm glad you've been here with us here on the Teal Shirt Report podcast. Give us a like, comment on our YouTube channel, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so. Thank you to all you guys that have subscribed to our podcast. JC, we're like blackjack 21 minutes in. That's going to do it for episode show number 9. I'm hoping to have New York Joe, who won our Teal Shirt Report podcast Fantasy Football League. I'm hoping to have Joe on maybe one of our next few episodes. You guys have a great day. Thank you for watching and listening. I'm your host, Scott. This has been the Teal Shirt Report podcast. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Man, oh man, thank you guys. The coffee is good. Just got to get it to go down the right way. You guys take care, okay? Thank you so much.